Okay, guys, what's up? This is the pre-show for the Penultimate Conquest podcast. This is Ruben. With me, I have today Anthony,
Hello.
Ryan,
Eh?
Eric,
Hi.
and Vincent.
Hey.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm watching Avatar, The Legend of Korra, and this might be better than The Last Airbender.
I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers.
It feels
please.
like we're about to get into a 2-hour conversation right here. With what Ryan was just,
Nope. I'm just
so-
saying. I'm just saying what I'm seeing because I'm on the last season, and it's already better. You know.
I got it at Walmart for like $20. They had like a complete series thing, so I just
Yep.
got it. So I'm gonna watch
Oh my
through it real
God.
soon.
Really, don't die.
Yeah,
Yeah, take your time. Okay, you're good.
I think so. There we go.
Okay.
Sweet Nova shirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got it in a loot box. I have no idea who Nova is, so
Oh, that's upsetting.
like I
It's
know
like-
who he is. I've never read his powers or his
Okay.
comics.
He's a great superhero.
He's played by Beast Boy.
That he
Space
is.
cop.
So, anybody want to talk about something in the pre-show? Any hot takes?
Oh,
I mean, you
I
just
think
made the hottest
according to
take.
Ryan's face. I'm about to say Ryan's face was you just made the biggest hot take of them all.
Hit me.
Oh,
You
that's
know?
harder than some of your takes during the DC episode.
I mean,
And
some
those
might
takes
say
were spicy.
those takes were spicy, but I did land one, and I have yet to be proven wrong.
Well, I was in a emotional state the past few days, so I haven't listened to the DC episode yet, and I don't think I can handle it. So
Oh, you can. I think you can. I highly recommend it.
If you want to hear me praise
It's-
about King Shark for a while, it's a good episode.
It might just be our best work yet.
It's up there.
But also, yeah. I did see today that Nick Eden posted a interview with his cat, and I gotta say that's prime video content on YouTube.
I can't
So
wait
if you
to
haven't
watch
seen it,
that.
go check it out. Go check it out. It's literally like 2 minutes of pure gold.
Fantastic.
well, if we're talking about stuff right now that we're doing, I'm playing Gears 5 right now for the first time, and I have a lot of problems with it.
Like
Oh
what?
man, the team AI may be the worst I've ever had in any game. It's so terrible because they made the campaign for you to play with somebody else, and so like the AI is reflective of that. Where in like the original games, 1, 2, 3, and 4 a little bit, as soon as I went down, someone immediately ran over and picked me up most of the time. Whereas in this one, I go down, it's they're still just fighting, just la 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 da. Like, no, I'm down. If you don't help me, I'm gonna die. And I died. So it's just, yeah. It's like a
Now-
conversation we can have of, is the series better since they've gone to a new developer? Like the same thing could be said with like 343. Have they made better Halo games? Has the Coalition made better Gears games since the trilogy?
Well, I was gonna say they probably haven't revived. Well, they probably don't want to revive you because they know that you're shitting on Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yep,
You know?
that's what those characters in that Microsoft game know. They just know.
Yeah,
Yep.
they just know.
They hooked into the internet. They're just aware of
And
everything.
it keeps crashing on my PC and it makes me frustrated.
Well, there's your problem there. Why are you playing an Xbox game on PC?
Because I don't have. I
Where
know,
they
but I don't have to
belong.
tell you.
I've been enjoying my time with Flight Simulator 20.
Yeah, as good,
It's
as good as everybody else is.
It makes my computer overheat after an hour and a half. It may be catching
not good.
lays, but it's gorgeous.
Okay.
I saw
also-
when the storm was happening, people were going into the flight simulator to see the storm like happening. That was
Yeah,
kinda
people are flying into the hurricane.
Yeah.
And that's kind of pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. I
I
kind
mean,
of
the
want to
storm was not badass. It was,
No,
it was
Clarification.
pretty
flying
bad.
into people flying into the storm.
A
Okay?
simulation. A simulation
Yes,
of
the
it.
simulation. Um,
So I don't know if you guys saw, but in Lake Charles, they voted to have a Confederate memorial stay up in the summer. It was like, bring it down, bring it down. Like, no, we're going to keep it up. And then Laura came through and just toppled it.
God,
It's like, yes, karma.
yeah. Um, give me a sec. I'm doing something pretty clever. I feel like.
Okay.
If you guys
Ominous.
could fill some time.
What has people been playing this weekend? Anyone been gaming? Other than Gears?
Fortnite, freaking Marvel. Like, I'm trying to get away from Fortnite, and they're like, hey, this whole season's Marvel themed. It's like, God damn it! I want to be done
Yeah.
with you, but I can't.
Yeah, they know how to get
I'll
my
give
money.
it this: the
It's,
skins look a lot better than the DC ones. I thought the
I couldn't
Aquaman skin
buy-
was ugly.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy the Batman skin for that game because it would hurt my soul to see Batman use guns. So I didn't buy it for that reason.
I didn't think about it at first when I bought it. I was
It's
like, oh,
Jason
not Batman.
Todd. There
Look
you
at him.
go.
And then I ran around and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm murdering people like just left and right.
I don't kill.
Some might say that's two different things, but okay.
Guns and killing?
Okay. No, killing and murder.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think in a
Words.
battle royale, it's murder. No, wait, unless
Well,
Yeah.
they like teleport. They don't die.
Yeah.
they go to heaven or something like that. In the battle royale lore,
Fortnite's got some real weird lore. It actually has lore. I don't understand it. but they
Apparently, the
haven't-
Marvel stuff's canon.
I saw that. That was so weird.
Is the Thanos game mode gonna come back? Because the Thanos game mode was real fun.
that was fun.
Yeah.
So what's this clever thing you got for us, Ruben?
It's gonna I just need like a minute more.
Okay. Fill more time.
Yeah. I mean, I can also help fill time. I've been playing Fall Guys and keep getting seriously frustrated with that last
How many
game.
wins has everybody got?
I've got 2.
No wins.
Ew.
I have 3, so it's not a competition or anything.
Okay. Where did you get these 3 wins? What was the last?
I got 2 on Fall Mountain, and I got 1 freaking Royal Fumble. The worst game mode.
What's Royal Fumble?
The one, it's tail grab, but with like 6
Hmm.
people and one free
Oh
tail.
my God! It's
The
so
tail grab
annoying.
games are the worst.
I like Team Tail Grab. I just don't like Royal Fumble.
There was a video I saw today. I don't know if it was posted in the group of Fall Guys, but with human screams.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic! It's
I
hilarious.
don't like the sound of that.
It's so great.
I'm a fan of that.
Okay. Okay,
That
if you say
sounds
so.
real fun. There's them quick memes.
Perfect. This is what I was waiting for.
Uh-oh.
It's here.
Oh, Nick Eden, how nice of you to stop by.
Oh, this is our surprise.
This was a surprise. Yeah.
I've been summoned.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask how goes it with the discussion that we had last time.
About Bane?
Yeah.
Man, apparently he's a simp.
Apparently.
Oh my god, it is a simp.
He did all that for
Oh
a
my
girl.
god.
He did all that for a girl for some reason.
So, do you admit defeat?
I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. That's all.
Is
I
that all
wanted.
you brought Nick to do? Is just
That
to have him
is-
admit defeat?
That is, however, if he's more than welcome to stay if he wants.
Nah, I'm watching Narcos, so.
Okay, fair. Thank
But I
you
do,
very much.
I do appreciate you embarrassing me in front of everybody. So.
I'm sorry. I had to. You know I had to.
Y'all have a good one, man. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you,
Jeez,
Nick.
on me.
No problem.
Okay.
Back to our regular show.
With that being said, let's start the show. I'm sorry, guys. I really had to do that. He tried to put my name through the mud. So,
Revenge.
Welcome to Penultimate Conquest.
ooh, that's a nice jingle. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penultimate Conquest podcast, where we talk about everything to do with the video games industry. I'm your host, Ruben, and today's co-hosts are Anthony,
Hello.
Ryan,
Okay.
Eric,
That's me.
and Vincent.
Hey.
Today we were talking about Avengers and whether we think it will succeed or fail miserably. How do we want to start this topic?
Well, I would
You're the
probably start
host.
with
You tell us where to go.
I would assume we would start with if everyone got to play the beta.
Yes, that's a really good idea. Did everybody play the beta? Anthony, did you?
I did.
Ryan,
Yep.
Eric.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. Oh boy, Vincent.
Yes, I played both weekends.
Okay, how do we all feel about it? Eric, let's start off with you because I didn't like that response.
This game has so much work it needs to do.
Okay,
There-
now,
Oh,
do you think it's going to be Anthem level bad, or do you think it's
No.
going to be?
the reason why it won't be Anthem level bad is because of one thing. It's got the Marvel brand on it. Like, if this game didn't have the Marvel brand on it, it would be dead in the water when it came out.
I agree.
Because there's nothing in this
100%.
game that differentiates it from other looters out there in the market right now. Marvel is the only thing that will save this game. Because like Anthem's problem was it's a brand new IP and no one really knew about it. There was the pedigree from BioWare, but you know, for most people out there, when you say the name BioWare, it's like, wait, who's that? Oh, you ever played
Yeah.
Mass Effect? Oh, I know the Mass Effect games. And then that game came out, and it happened.
Unfortunately.
Had a
But,
great movement.
Oh yeah,
Well, the flying's great. That's all they could do.
yeah.
But no, I think Avengers has a lot of work into it. That's just my opening statement. We'll get into more as to what they have to do. But I think this has a lot of work. But I think it could get there.
Okay. Anthony, what do you think? Is this gonna...
I'm really excited for the campaign. I don't know how this is going to be as a live service for many years to come, sort of thing. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm excited to see Kamala Khan get a bigger spotlight. I'm a big fan of that character since her introduction in the comic, and so I'm excited to just hang out with her and experience her with the Avengers because that's such a fun character and such a fun little world that they're going to make around her. And so I'm excited for that. Outside of the game of service part, I don't know about that, but we can hope.
Let's hope. Ryan, what did you think?
I'm in the camp here of Eric that I think this game it's not good. I think it is very far off from where it needs to be, for it to be a good game. It's the best. I can already. It's the best 7 out of 10 I'm going to play all year. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. I'd say that's pretty fine to me.
There's nothing wrong with that, really.
No.
I mean, like Days Gone, like that's the most solid 7 out of 10 game I've ever played. Like it wasn't the best thing I've ever played, but it wasn't certainly the worst. I had a good time. I platinumed it, had a good time, but I haven't thought about it ever again since.
Nick
No,
definitely
dude,
had
that's the beauty. But
high praise.
with like game as a service title, I have to be thinking about that game constantly. Keep me invested.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that
Uh,
one.
Yeah. Vincent, what did you think?
I'm cautiously optimistic. Like where it is right now, it's not in a good place. But I can like if they can nail it, I can see what the game can become. The main thing for me right now is like I don't know why I need to get it at launch. Like I feel right now there's not enough to keep me engaged. Like when they add the equivalent of like a GTA heist or like oh we've got this big new story mode or this raid, like maybe then I'll be interested. But right now it's like all right, like talk to me once you actually have something more substantial. But like I can see where the game could go. It's just right now it's
Yeah. I had some problems with the game, more or less on the online side. Like I could barely get any matchmaking happening, but that's what the beta's for. Um, the story just it sounds interesting, but I'm afraid that it's gonna lean towards more of the online side. Like the story is gonna be, oh, it's a good 10-hour story and that's about it, which doesn't really reel me in. But I am hopeful that they'll add some more stuff to the story. So basically, I would like them to focus a little more on the single player side, which I know with games as a service, it's kind of really hard to do that. But I'm still buying it. Is it going to be at launch? I don't think so. Like the game comes out, what is it, this week? This week Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be buying it on Friday. Sorry. Let's talk about what everybody else is talking about. The Battle Pass and how it's a problem for everybody. And I don't know why it should be.
I don't think it's necessarily a problem. I mean, it's one of those things where all this stuff is purely cosmetic. Like, it's not going to affect. And the problem that everyone has when they see battle passes or MTXs, as the kids like to call them now, it's like, oh my god, it's going to affect gameplay. Going to affect gameplay. Like, no, it's not. It's just going to like, hey, you want your Tony to look like extremist armor or something? That's
Yeah.
what this is. That's what this is all going to be. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they say that all like 6 heroes at launch, like you don't have to buy their battle pass or anything? It's only for the heroes that come out post launch.
What I read was, yeah, that the other heroes that are coming out post launch will have their own battle pass.
Okay. I mean, I'm buying the Spider-Man battle pass. No matter
Absolutely.
what. So, I mean, they know they have my $10 there.
But I also read that it comes with 5,000 credits. The game comes with 5,000 credits, and each battle pass it's worth 1,000 credits. And if you finish the battle pass, you get those 1,000 credits back. Which is
I mean, all this is going to tie to the games as a service side.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
how long
a
can you keep playing to get all this stuff?
Yeah. Vincent, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, that's the unfortunately I haven't read up on it. The biggest thing for me, like, do we know how the currency works? Like, can you earn currency in game? Like, I know with the 5 characters you get that battle pass. Like, are there other ways to earn currency in game that don't resort to? Like, I wasn't able to research that.
Wasn't able to research that either.
But like theoretically, if you grind at the game, you could pay off the battle pass. It would probably just be that your payouts are very slow and incremental and it'd take a while. But in theory, you should be able to earn credits, right?
Yeah, I would assume so, you know?
Yeah,
And-
so even then, if you don't want to spend the $10, just grind it out.
And this is where the Battlefront 2, that whole fiasco when that launched, is the big complaint with that game was the amount of time it took for you to attempt to do it for free. And so hopefully they are aware that that is an important
Yes.
aspect of it and that it's not ridiculous for this game. That's the only thing where we're unsure of until after the game has gotten into people's hands. So
And the Star Wars ones, that actually came though with, hey, do you want an upgrade to your thermal blasters or something like your grenades?
Mhm.
So like that's a problem. That kind of stuff shouldn't be in it. But if it's just, hey, do you want the Hulk to
cosmetics.
do high five with himself as an emote? I don't really have a problem with that.
Hmm.
The only problem I have with this battle pass idea is that it is for each hero. It's individual. I'd rather it be just give me the $20, $30 battle pass like every other game does, and I get them for all the heroes level like 100, the basic battle pass. Just because now I feel like I'm going to be very tied into playing just one hero. Because I'm going to be like, I have to grind just this battle pass for this one hero.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like,
Yeah.
cool. Now I just have to pick a role I want to play.
I looked it up. See that there are two in-game currencies. One is units that will be used at in-game vendors or in-game marketplaces that you can pile up while progressing through the game's story mode and standard daily activities without going out of the way to do anything special. This is from GameRant.com. And credits are exclusively spent in the marketplace. That's pretty much you have to do like the challenges and stuff. So there is a way for you to earn them in game. We hope.
Yeah, I did hear the
Um,
word currency there, so it sounds like you'll probably be able to earn them in game.
Yeah. Anybody have any problems besides the battle pass? Like what they think is going to be a problem for this game?
For
think
me, when I
gameplay-
was playing,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
is
I should
yeah,
stick to
call
this.
people.
Yeah. Anthony, sorry.
Okay.
What?
So when I was playing, when I was matchmaking with people, I matchmaked with people that were like level 20, and I had just started, so I was like level 5. And so I was like, well, who do I be in this situation? So I decided to be Iron Man, and it took a little bit of adjustment on my part in terms of the gameplay because I just came off the story bits in
Yeah.
that beta. And so that's level to you. And then when I jumped to this, I was like paperweight. I just get hit a few times and go down. So I had to adjust my mindset to being flying as Iron Man in the sky, peppering people with the repulsors, and then when that ran out, I had to jump in and help one of the other teammates so they could move on and be more effective because they're over twice my level. And then so that sort of shift from the enemy difficulty not being centered around you, but the highest level person, that could be an issue because like once you're done, maybe you grind one character and then you jump out to your down level 1 or whatever the character is at the end of the campaign, and that is your weakest person. Then you jump in and everyone else is all level 20 and you're like, oh, not having as much fun.
What did you have a problem with?
The characters need to be tuned. 2 of them feel good. The others feel like trash.
Which two did you think?
Thor and Miss Marvel feel fantastic. They feel just how I want them to. Iron Man feels like you're flying. I don't think that's how Iron Man should feel.
I agree with that. Iron Man felt like flying through molasses. He felt so slow. Like I'm supposed to be Iron Man flying through the skies, and here I feel like I got 20,000 pounds put on me and I can't fly fast.
You said Thor and Kamala felt good. So everybody else you had a problem with? Ryan?
Can you repeat yourself?
Oh, yeah.
You're glitching a bit.
Sorry. You said that you had a problem with... that you didn't have a problem with Thor and Kamala. Was everybody else a problem?
I feel like... Yeah, I did not like Iron Man, Cap. Widow felt okay. Like, her combat I think is kind of basic, but it felt good. It felt tight. And Hulk was he's fun, but I don't know how much enjoyment I will get out of repetitively playing as Hulk.
Yeah.
I think the combat loop there just isn't that fun. I can
Okay.
only smash things for so long without no incentive. Especially since like getting loot for Hulk just feels weird.
Now, it's funny that you said it because I didn't play as Hulk at all because I tried it once and it kept on glitching for me. So I stuck with Black Widow and I loved that combat. Everybody else I had a problem with, kind of. But I guess to each their own.
And I think that the game just needs polish.
Yeah.
For something coming out in a week, I'm like, this game needs just some coat of paints on it. It just needs to be polished up.
Absolutely.
And I also had problems with the online. I could barely get it. I could barely get games to stay like without people dropping in and out.
Yeah. Vincent, what did you have a problem with?
The main thing for me is on a mission per mission basis, it is fun to run around and just beat up enemies with your friend. The issue for me is there was not a lot of variety. Like it was pretty much get to the end and then get to the end and hold a point. Like I really don't know what more they could do to swap it up per se, but like it was kind of like, all right, we're just, beating up enemies, rinse, repeat. Like I didn't really feel the need to play as a team. It really just felt like 4 individuals doing their things in proximity of each other instead of, coordinating and like trying to do things as a group. We like oftentimes when I played with my friends, we would just be off in separate corners of the map because like it really didn't matter if we stayed together or not. So that's the main thing for me, is just getting some variety and getting like an actual sense of like a team.
Yeah. For me, yeah, it's pretty much. I think there were a couple missions that took me literally like 2 minutes, because all I had to do was just beat down on some people, and that was it. Which was kind of, it felt off. Like there's no mission that should take at least 2 minutes, the most 2 minutes.
Especially the way some of them end, because some of them like I would be in mid combat and it would just go, okay, you're done. Like there's no cutscene. It's just like, up and you're done.
Yeah.
All right.
It felt very weird. I'm worried about the online missions. Well, the games as a service part. Because it's not looking well for that. If you can finish a mission, if you take at least 5 minutes finding people to join in your game, and you finish the mission in 2 minutes, that's kind of a problem. Which matchmaking in and of itself should not take more than 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes, I think. But again, like I said, I have that was what gave me the most problems. Matchmaking. I would stay there for 10 minutes waiting for somebody to come in, and nothing. So I didn't even play any like missions with other people. I just played by myself.
Did you do the really big mission where you fought like that big tank thing in the forest? Yeah, you did it all on yourself?
I had the AI help me out, and even that was kind of iffy. But it is what it is. I think Ryan did have a point that this is probably going to be the best 7-10 that I play. But I wish it was more. Like, I wish there was some more meat on this game, so I can love it the way they want us to love it.
Hey, cause you remember the hype when this game was originally announced? Like when they were announcing they were making a freaking Avengers game.
Yep.
And this was, let's see, they announced it in 2017. So this is after, Civil War, and this is like right before they started finishing filming like Infinity War and Endgame. It's like Marvel was starting to get like to its peak, and so everybody was like, "Oh, hell, they're making an Avengers game." And this was also a little bit after Rise of the Tomb Raider, so everyone was like, "Oh, Crystal Dynamics! Oh, that game was so great." Well, it's not the best Tomb Raider game, but Crystal Dynamics is making this game. Oh, this is gonna be really good. And I remember them showing, just Cap shield, repulsors, Bruce's glasses, and I was hyped up. And and I think it's terrific. I have a few points here. I think it's terrific how there's not going to be any online stuff in the actual campaign itself. 'Cause that's a big problem I have with Destiny. Like, I love playing with my friends, but when you play like main mission stuff together and someone's talking like, "Hey, shut the hell up, I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about right now." And so like this one, you won't be distracted or anything. Like, you can enjoy this Marvel story by yourself. And I also think it's great that you can play the whole thing by yourself. Like the whole AI thing where you can have your version of Hulk, Iron Man, and Black Widow and stuff with you is fantastic. That's a fantastic idea. It's not just like a carbon copy of these characters. It's just like, that's your Iron Man flying with you right now.
Yep.
So I think that's great. My big concern with this game is something that cannot be fixed, in a week before the game comes out, and that's like the gameplay mechanics. Like, so if you played that game, there was a lot going on that screen. It's like they barfed, and so much stuff is all over it. So like when you look at most games, like its HUD, like minimalistic HUD is wonderful. Like, I played the beta like right after I finished Ghost of Tsushima, and that is like the most minimalistic HUD you can have. And then I play Avengers, and then there's stuff in the bottom right corner, the top right, the top left, the middle left, middle right, bottom left. There was just so much. We're staring at Vincent's ceiling right now. What's that? What's he got going on?
It's coffee and
I
cat
am
hair.
having tech issues.
Okay.
I am.
You didn't have to address it. You could have just talked and let him do his thing.
I fell. It fell down. The camera fell down. I was worried something had happened.
No.
And so there's a lot going on the screen, and especially when you get in the middle of a battle, there's so much happening. It's not simplistic. They're trying to do way too much with this, and it's not like none of us work in game design, right? So it's not an easy task, like, to make a game at all. It's kind of hard to say, "Oh, this is terrible, they should change this," but they really need to clean up like the screen, because there's so much happening at one time. And the loot is terrible. The loot system is terrible.
I think, is it Destiny that you open the chest and everybody gets it?
Yeah, everyone would get something.
Yeah. They need to incorporate that as soon as possible. And again, I know it's not, it's easier said than done, but I feel like that's what should have been said in the first place. Why have everybody open one chest at the same time, more or less?
And even just like the loot itself. So like when you play something like Destiny and you grab a piece of loot and it's like, all right, these gauntlets, like before, like they had the big armor 2.0 thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, these gauntlets will give you faster reload on your shotguns, and if you sprint, it'll automatically reload. It was pretty, okay, I understand what these do. Whereas in this game, you grab something, when you do, weak attacks, you have an 8.3% chance to do a mega ultra attack at the end of your combo. It's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to do all this stuff for an 8% chance for a little damage upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked too much. Someone else talk.
I'll hop on.
You can go.
You go. Okay, I will say because yeah, I rewatched the War Tables after I'd played the beta, and I was kind of disappointed how they talked about oh, if you equip the gamma repulsors, it'll like change your whole gameplay, and like I think like the most the gamma did was it just slightly poisoned enemies, and I'm just kind of disappointed that they hyped up that the gear would actually change how your character handles, and at least me for the most part, like I didn't feel any substantial change on like what gear I equipped. I really just went whatever had the highest stats.
Yeah, same here.
And I think for a game like this, when you put so much emphasis on loot, for it to not, one, change the way you look, and two, for it to just not feel like it's doing anything, that's a big problem. Like you know, as a Destiny player, the best part of Destiny is when you get that really busted armor kit out. That you have tuned perfectly, that is just... It's breaking all con. And for
You
this
kind of
game
broke
to...
up there, Ryan. What'd you say?
As I said, how like in Destiny, the armor feels so good in that. Like,
Yeah.
I think the guns have a bit of problem, but I think the armor system in that, and the way you can make your character feel by changing things around in that, is real nice. But in something like this now, I honestly can't tell the difference other than it is protecting me a bit better from things. Sweet.
I don't know if they actually said that this was going to be like more looter than shooter, but I think it's quite frankly the opposite. It's more shooter than looter. I don't really give a shit about the stuff that I'm picking up from the chests. I'm worried about the fucking enemies that are coming around kicking my ass. Which, again, I guess kind of like is most of... I haven't played Destiny in a while, but that's what I remember from it. Like, if you were playing the story missions by yourself, that's pretty much like you were on your own, you were kicking ass, just waiting for... Yeah, sure, you had some loot at the end, but it was mostly about the shooting. But Destiny has that balance, I guess, so to speak, because the loot actually matters. Again, I haven't played Destiny in like 2 years, but
I mean, it also helps that Destiny has the best gameplay of anything ever made. So, like that's its strength. Like, its gameplay is fantastic. On top of the fact that you can have Destiny and you can make yourself look however you want and all that. Whereas Avengers, its combat isn't that great, and there is no like personal touch that you can have on your characters.
do you think that's something that they'll eventually change? Like, I'm pretty sure they've heard the people complain about it.
And that's what the thing with games as a service. They can fix it. Like,
Yeah.
it can be fixed. And that's the problem. I know we'll get more into it on the games of service episode, but with games of service episodes, it's not how you launch, it's where you end up. So in probably maybe a year or 2 years, the Avengers game is going to look way different than what it is at launch.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to write that down so we can come back to that, because
Yeah,
I
but-
quite frankly think it's both. It's how you start, and it's also how you continue your story, not just like how you end up.
I mean, true, but then look at like Final Fantasy 14. Like that game was dead in the water, and they've somehow brought it back.
Rainbow
Yeah,
Six
but that's what I'm
Siege.
saying.
But like I think that's really only like a footnote now. Is people gawk about how good it is. I don't think many people focus on the launch, just in comparison to where it is now.
Sure. Yeah, we'll save that for the next episode, though, because that's
I
more
got a
of the
question
games as a
for
service
that,
stuff.
since we just brought up where it's going, all that. We even think this game will it be able to survive on the Marvel name alone for long enough for things to get fixed?
Yep.
How much can the
Yeah.
Marvel name carry you?
Well,
I think it could carry a
I-
long way.
Yeah.
like the MCU is
Because-
the most popular thing ever invented.
It is,
Right
but I
now,
feel like
and
people
so,
are beginning to kind of let it wean. Like, Endgame happened. Like, kind of out of that. It's a
Yeah,
good
and then-
part of everything, but I don't know if that is still going to be able to, especially since for a lot of people, like when the first trailer came out for this game, people were like, "This is not my Iron Man. This is not my Captain America. What is with this fat, weird-looking Captain America?" That was the whole complaint for when this game first got shown. Was like, the Avengers look wonky.
Yeah.
So I'm very wondering if people are going to be able to stick with characters, especially people coming in from like just MCU. This is not the MCU.
That they've said that before, and we all have just come to accept it. I guess not all of us, but mostly people who actually play video games on a daily basis have come to accept that this is not the MCU.
Mhm.
And I think that, yes, they're going to have to prove themselves with this game. If they don't have a good launch, they definitely have to prove themselves, like, after launch. But I think it's good that they didn't start off with the MCU skins,
Mhm.
just because, like, it just would have been a knockoff video game movie. If that makes sense.
Oh, I
Like,
agree. No problem
Go ahead.
with the way you look or anything. I just know that was a big concern for people when this game first got shown. I'm
Yeah,
very interested
absolutely.
in how that will hamper people from like people will buy this and be like, "This is not my. I don't know this Iron Man. I don't know this Captain America," and play it for a couple hours and drop it. That's the biggest problem with these games as a services. The game hook needs to be perfect for you to keep going back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this game's combat and stuff can do that. Like, will I only be in this game for 10 to 20 hours to beat the campaign and then never touch it again?
I don't know. That's a
Ah.
good question. Eric, what do you think this game needs to have to hook you in to have you play as long as you've played Destiny?
I mean, what it's got to do is it's got to give me reasons to keep playing. So a wonderful thing they can, like, I can see why they did it as games with the service. And we'll get more into, like, you know, business sides as games of service later. But how awesome could it be is, you know, a few months down the line in this game, there's an event like, oh crap, Hydra is attacking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big event. That's what's going on right now. You got Hydra agents all over the place, and the Avengers got to take them out. Oh, and then we have a big, you know, free expansion, but Galactus is coming. Stuff like that. Like, and that is where I think the games and service side of Avengers really can do so well. And a thing earlier that Ryan was talking about, like, how far can the Marvel brand go? Like, let us not discredit how it's going to be for, like, the 10-year-olds that see this trailer on TV, like, oh my God, I can play as the Hulk. And, like, buy it instantly. Like, they can play as the Hulk, they can play as the Iron Man. Now, granted, it was weird for us when we saw the initial character reveal because we're so used to the MCU and these characters. It had the real, what's the phrase, like Silicon Valley effect? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That was called?
Yeah.
Well, almost.
And, like, we see it and it's like, oh, that doesn't look really real. It's like, but that's not Captain America. Chris Evans is Captain America. But I think it is, Ruben, I think you said it, like, it's good that they didn't do the MCU thing because it could turn to like a whole licensed game or something. And licensed games have not been good for a long time. And so I think it really, like, Marvel is really going to sell this. Like, kids are going to buy this because they'll be able to play as Iron Man. They'll be able to play as Thor. But what they can do is make it a living, breathing Marvel world. Like, have the Marvel experiences we've always wanted and put it in video game form. Like, have us have a moment where, you know, we have Hulk going on a rampage and you got to stop him. Like, there's so much they could do with this. Then that's why I'm really, like, I'm not even consciously optimistic right now, because I know they need to make this right. They need to make this a good game, because there's so much history with this franchise and this IP that there's endless possibilities that you could do with this. And so I want them to get it right, because I already pre-purchased it and I'll start playing it Tuesday. So I want it to be good. I want this game to be good, and that's why I'm very critical about it.
I'm in the
that.
same boat as you. I have bought it. I will be playing it on Tuesday.
Excuse me. Anthony, you've been quiet for a while. I think you have some stuff that you want to say.
The point that was brought up about 10-year-olds, I think that's a great point, because we may not watch them, but there are a ton of Marvel cartoons that go out on the Disney XDs and all that. So while adults may be like, oh, that's not mine, kids could be like, you know what? I got to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon. Maybe they could show up in this game at some point, and they could go around, run around as Groot.
I believe it's some of the similar cast too. I think Thor is played by the same one in the Marvel show.
A lot of the voice cast from like the Disney animated shows transfer over.
Wow, which is even better.
Yeah, so that's where I'm coming from, like 10-year-olds and up, especially like girls, where there's not like a lot of girls that can, you know, like Aloy on PS4, but this is the Black Widow from Avengers, and you know how many girls. She may not have had a big role, but there are fans of her, and so that's gonna be a great thing going forward. In terms of going forward from a games as a service perspective, there is a lot that they can do from a story perspective, because Marvel has existed for almost 80 years now. And so there's plenty they could do. It's for me personally, it's the combat. I don't feel this holds up with Spider-Man, even though it's basically trying to do the same thing. Whereas I can run around with Spider-Man and punch bad guys all livelong day, have fun. I don't know if I'm going to have as much fun, 30 hours in like I was with Spider-Man. And that's where I'm a little bit worried about it.
Yeah. Vincent, do you have any concerns?
The biggest concern for me is the fact that, like we've been talking about how this isn't the MCU, and like they made the creative decision to double down and go like, all right, we want these characters to be blank templates because we don't want to be the MCU. We want to be our own thing, but we're also aware like we're gonna do new costumes, we're gonna do all this other stuff, and the issue for me is, like, they've made it clear that they don't want it to be the MCU. That's why they're starting off with MODOK. That's why they're starting off with AIM. And for me, it's just, like, the MCU has really covered, like, a big chunk of the Marvel universe. So, like, I really don't know what's left for the game to cover that the movies necessarily haven't. So I feel like they're kind of pigeonholed in this situation where we don't want to be like the movies, but we can't really do our own thing because then people are just gonna compare us to the movie. Because like the obvious thing would be like, oh, there's the Black Widow movie is coming out, just have a tie-in event, but then it almost like you're just becoming subservient to the movie instead of doing your own thing. So like the thing for me is they've made it clear that this is their universe and they want to do their own thing. I just don't know like how long term this is really going to be able to last unless they make those concessions and go like, all right, well, no, we are going to have to copy from the MCU a bit.
I think that the way that they do it is by picking different characters to release from instead of characters from the MCU. I would say we already have the big four. Don't do anybody else that's even close to big, which is, I know it's kind of hard because you kind of need that recognition to bring more people in.
Well, the league roster, I think there's really only 4 people, and most of them are from like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The rest of like the main Avengers are rumored to be in the game.
Which is of a problem.
I think Hawkeye is going to be a great addition, like from a video game perspective.
Mhm.
You know, like, you know, we bows and arrows in games are super fun, thanks to Horizon, and so like that could be really cool. But yeah, it's just like the core gameplay needs to be worked on so much. It's just like I don't know. Like I said with Destiny, like the basic concept of just shooting aliens and stuff fits and works so well, and that's what keeps you playing that gameplay loop. I don't think there's a good enough gameplay loop to keep you playing here.
For me, I think the problem that I have the most with this game is that it's Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal, a developer that is mostly known for the Tomb Raider series, that is single player, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why they would do a games as a service, but I think it would have been better off with somebody else that actually does games as a service. Like, as their what am I trying to say here? I think it would have been better if it was a Bungie or an Activision / Blizzard to actually let this game be made. Because I think, quite frankly, that Crystal Dynamics is way in over their head. I hope not, but that's just how I feel.
You mean to tell me you don't think the developers that made Gex the Gecko can make an Avengers game?
I've never heard of
It's-
Gex the Gecko.
Oh my
Are you
god!
serious?
What? What?
It's tail time.
My childhood, man.
The
Never
demo.
heard of this.
Look
What
up.
the fuck
All right,
is
look
Gex
up. Look
the
up.
Gecko?
Get the Gecko right
How
now.
do you spell that?
Gex.
GEX.
GX.
Gex the Gecko, baby.
Oh my God. I haven't
For
thought
the
about
radical-
Gex in so long.
What the fuck is this?
God, I remember I had I think one of those Pizza Hut demo discs for the PS1, and the
I
Gex
had-
demo was on
yep,
that. Oh
I
my
had that.
god, I
Yes.
spent so much time with that. I never played the full game, but I just played so much time with that demo
Why is there
I
a
had that
live
one.
woman in this picture?
because
Yeah.
it was the '90s, Ruben.
Oh, that's not the one. There's
Deep
That's
cover
Gex's
gecko.
girlfriend.
What?
yeah.
What the fuck is going
Do
on
yourself
here?
a favor and just look up and complete Gex the Gecko walkthrough on YouTube so you'll understand. But no, I agree with you. I think Crystal Dynamics, I think it's difficult for them because they came off of the completely Rise of the Tomb Raider had back in 2015, y'all remember all the cards bullshit? Everything had cards and all that stuff. And I think
The year before.
but like God, 2013 Tomb Raider was so fucking good.
Yes, it was. It was the
Like
greatest.
it's definitely the best game. Like it's the best Tomb Raider game
Yes.
by far. Like Rise
Yes.
of the Tomb Raider, I liked it. I thought it was neat. Like it had some cool additions.
I thought the
to
story
gameplay.
was really good.
See, I hated the story.
Huh.
Like I hated that. Like when it turns out like the one dude was the prophet the whole time. Like I don't care.
It's
Uh,
Jesus
but-
Christ.
Yeah. We can get to a whole episode about that. But no, that first Tomb Raider game is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And so I hope they were asked to make this based off of that game. So like I know they have the pedigree to make very good AAA games. But then when you go from something as solo as Tomb Raider to you are dealing with the biggest IP in the world right now,
Yeah.
like it's going to be daunting. Like it's going to be a tough task, but like they signed on to do it. So like their name is on this. So I mean, obviously we as consumers need to be respectful. Like we're not going to be like, "Oh, you all are fucking terrible people" or something like that, but we can be like, you messed up here. You didn't do a real good job. So it's really difficult for us to talk about right now because like we haven't played the full game. Like this campaign may blow us out the freaking water. It may be really freaking good.
I really hope so.
Because like when Cap's gonna come back in the second act, like he's going to, like I mean,
The worst secret.
Like you can't like his gameplay reminded me like was the closest of like Arkham gameplay. And so like you can't have something as cool as that and recognizable as that and not have it like super in the game. And another positive, because I feel as though we have been pretty negative so far, a real positive is like each member, each game, each character here feels like it could be the star of their own game.
Yeah.
Like Thor was the closest you could get to a God of War experience. I mean, like throwing Mjolnir felt great. It is kind of a weird dissonance, like hitting people with Mjolnir and they're now flying like 2 miles. Like if I hit a normal person with Mjolnir, like they should be flying
Similarly
away.
dead.
The same as Hulk.
Yeah.
There's a little dude with a gun right there, and I kick him with Hulk. They should be like in the sky right now, not just hit him a little bit. And I understand it has to have like a power balance thing that Ryan was talking about earlier. Like there has to be a gamey version of this. Like you have to have the Hulk punch people, but like Iron Man was kind of Anthem-y, like how you flew a little bit. I'm glad
Anthem
there's no
did it
like.
better.
I'm glad there's no heat thing with this.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like as long as you keep flying, it's like all right, hold on, you got to cool yourself off.
Yeah.
And
But then you don't
then
get the cool effect of going through the water.
that was really cool.
It
And
was.
then
like
cooling.
that.
And then Black Widow had like that Spider-Man web yank thing where you can pull yourself towards people. I'm definitely going to play as Black Widow probably mostly because
I
she
think
had
so,
all the
too.
cool stuff. But like I have faith that they'll get it right, but it's they're going to have to brace themselves because I am probably pretty sure like all these launch reviews are not going to be really great.
Yeah.
But I think if they put in the work for this, like and do the vision that they wanted to do, I think they could have something here. But we
You cut off.
Yeah. 1 second.
everyone's kind of frozen right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
I cut
us,
out?
you just
Cut out.
stopped at everything.
Oh, I stopped. What was the last thing I said? Thanks for paying
This
attention
game's
to me,
too big
Ruben.
to fail.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
actually-
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what the end thing here is. Just like I feel as though they can get it done. Just it's going to take some time.
Just can't help but compare it to BioWare and Anthem.
Yeah, that's a good comparison because like Anthem. I don't know if you guys read that Jason Schreier article about like the development of Anthem,
Yeah.
but like when they talked about how we're not going to reference Destiny at all, you can't talk about Destiny. It's like, well, they legitimately created the whole games as a service thing, so maybe take some notes after what they did. And I feel as though this game like took way too many notes, and so
But also not enough at the same time.
right, so.
Took the wrong notes. It was taking notes from math class when it was in social studies.
I like that.
Now-
but yeah.
We enjoy making small bets here on this podcast. It's something we've done before.
Yes,
What do we think the launch Metacritic review score, critic side, is going to be?
Hold on. I'm going to check what the Metacritic score was for Destiny when it launched.
It was like 68.
Yeah, and then, like, it's weird because, like, the launch for it was 68, and then it... All right, so it says here the Metacritic was 76. I'm looking at the site right now. It's 76 with a user score of 6.1.
Say that I think that this game is going to get 5.5. Or
You
55.
think it's going to be a 55 on Metacritic?
55 on Metacritic. Critic side only.
We're doing critic side only here, boys.
I will
That's-
go... I cut you off, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that's low, Ruben. That is
Yeah.
Well, if what did Anthem get on it when it first released?
That's a great question.
Let's find out. Anthem has a Metacritic score of not Anthem, the insurance company. Sorry, Anthem, the game.
You also look
When
up
they-
the Anthem Insurance Company.
There's a problem.
Okay. Oh my God.
What?
Anthem has a 54 on Metacritic on PS4.
Okay, so I'm changing
Yeah,
mine.
Yeah, you're a little low. You're a little low.
I think it'll do better. I think it'll probably be like 63 then.
I would go 65. That's probably what I'll do. 65.
I'm going 70.
Whoa.
Because I think the campaign will save it at launch.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the campaign will be a 10-hour blast, and then people will be like, I'm here now.
What do you think?
I'm hoping for 70 is where I'm at
Okay.
in terms of overall.
Vincent, what do you think?
Probably. I might be the more. I'm probably like 71, 72. Like I think
We're going Price is
There-
Right rules here.
exactly. I
We're going
think
Price
if
is Right.
there are things they can do at the launch, like I'm hoping they've actually used the beta to tweak things, so like it's not just one of those. This is an exclusive demo more than an actual beta. So I'm hoping that stuff like the matchmaking will have been fixed by the time launch.
I hope. I really hope.
Well, I hope that it has a higher user score than Madden 21 is getting right now. Oof.
21 getting a low user score.
Because this one was basically, I think it's at that generational thing where it's like, all right, we have a new console, let's just like make a pretty version of it, and that's about it. Like they didn't add anything to the my player thing or anything. It's basically, from what I've read, it's just a glorified $60 roster update. It has a 0.4 for the user score right now.
Oh, God.
Now, granted, Metacritic user scores are a hellhole of the
Yep.
worst kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something we don't trust. It's Metacritic user reviews.
Don't trust gamers. That's our tagline we should have.
Could you go back to the Anthem Insurance?
Oh, Anthem Insurance. It's an insurance company, so it has a 0.2 on the user score.
I have Anthem Insurance, so that's not good for me.
I was wondering why you're
Hey,
sticking
your
on this.
copy of Anthem.
I mean, I do still have the $80 version of Anthem. I don't remember what it was.
Oh man,
Ooh.
the Legion of Dawn one.
Yeah, Legion of
Oh
Honor one.
man, I had so much freaking hype for Anthem. It looks so cool, and then you play, it's like there is nothing going on here. So
Nothing, absolutely.
it is good that when I read that they're gonna have like 80 like Warzone and Drop
Yeah.
Zone mission stuff in this. I think that's a good idea. That's a lot of stuff at launch. And the thing with games as a service, you have to have content. So I don't think there's not going to be not content, if that makes sense, because you can do all this with 6 heroes.
It's not going to be Destiny 1 where you beat the story and then you got 5 strikes.
Yeah. So I think that's what's going to be really good, because they have to have a reason to keep me playing, because like I have thousands of hours in Destiny. Like this needs to give me a reason to put more than 50 hours into it. Like they need to give me a reason to be back at hour 250 just as much as the first few hours. So.
Have they spoken about like any raid situation going on, or is it just gonna
Kind
be-
of.
I don't know.
I feel like
It's
they
there.
hinted at.
Yeah, it's there, but they haven't gone into specifics.
Okay,
There is a
'cause-
war table on Tuesday,
Yeah,
so maybe they'll talk about it there.
that's
The
it.
launch day war table?
Yeah,
Or like, I did not know that.
yes, there
okay.
is. I saw it a couple hours ago on YouTube. I don't know if this is like games as a service type thing, but Pokemon does that raid thing that if as many people beat it, such and such is going to happen. That might be a Destiny thing that they got it from. I don't know.
There are like challenges things where like the whole community where it's like do 250,000 strikes and as a whole community, so like everybody does it over like this 2-week period. So there definitely could be stuff like that. There could be do 5 million Hulk smashes, and then if that happens, everybody gets this Hulk emote.
Exactly. That is something I would like for them to like introduce, not introduce, but like incorporate into the game, because I think that would be something to work towards throughout the weeks.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I bet Ryan's Futaba shirt that there is going to be something in that game like that with a challenge thing where everybody completes.
Sweet.
Futaba shirt, or are you buying
So,
all
so
of
if
us?
it, so if it doesn't happen, he has to throw away his Futaba shirt. That's how this works. But
Oh, okay.
but I'm pretty sure that's something that's going to be happening. So I think his shirt is safe.
Okay.
If it happens, it happens.
For me, when I was playing the beta, I couldn't tell which missions I had already done because there's like those little sample ones where you jump in for a couple minutes and do them. I hope there's a better way to communicate that like you've accomplished this when there's
Well-
going to be 80 of these different little missions, because I couldn't tell from a story perspective like, oh, bad guys doing things, beat them up, and then you're done. And so if there's going to be 80 of those, I hope it's better communicated.
Yeah, I would like for them to like put on the side completed, not completed, stuff that you have completed. Obviously, you can take it off the map, and if you're into somebody else's game, you can just click and be like, "Hey, yeah, we're playing that mission," something like that. Anybody have any other closing arguments? I guess.
I got. We've been pretty negative
Yeah.
on this game, or at least skeptical. So here's a fun question for all of us: dream characters to get added into this game.
No.
Nova.
Yeah.
Vinny, do you have any thoughts on that?
I'm told he is very cool.
Yeah. He's a badass.
Also, I'm super worried about how their Spider-Man is going to be. After playing the beta, I'm like, and they said Spider-Man's going to be in the game. Like, this Spider-Man is probably not going to feel that great.
But that's also another thing that we barely even talked about. The
Yeah.
fact that they're bringing Spider-Man on the PS4 side.
I guess we could talk about that now.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Vincent, how do you feel about that whole situation?
I think it's a complex one because if it was any other character, I think people would be upset, but not as like mad as they are now. Like if they said something like Moon Knight is exclusive to PS4, people would be upset, but they're not gonna protest it like they are.
Exactly.
I know who Moon
How
Knight
about
is.
say,
I
Ruben,
know.
stop.
I know. I'm saying.
I will talk trash about Final Fantasy VII Remake again.
Listen. I'm saying for the people that don't know who Moon Knight is, who the fuck is Moon Knight?
They're going to know he's getting a Disney Plus show. Don't
They
worry.
will, but
Yeah.
will he be
Yeah.
getting? Will the show come out first, or will the character come out first?
Will we get Moon
Most likely
Knight?
the show. We will. Continue. Sorry.
Damn.
Vinny.
But no, that's my main thing is I think it's just the fact that people love Spider-Man, and so me personally, I'm not opposed to it being exclusive. I think it's just the fact that it's Spider-Man has people upset. Like I'm fine with it. Like if someone pays the money to do that, I'm not gonna protest a whole game for it. But I do get because it's Spider-Man, it's a little bit different.
Anthony.
For me, when the Spider-Man thing came up, I was reminded of the fact that back in like the 80s or 90s when Marvel was dying and they sold off all these characters, Sony was in a particular good spot because they didn't just get like the movie rights for Spider-Man, they got a portion of Spider-Man, the character. And so that's why like years ago when they sold off the toy rights, they were able to do that because they don't have just the movie rights and the TV show rights. They have all this other stuff. And so Sony having Spider-Man, it's such a stranglehold. They're never letting go. It makes sense.
Rights? Sorry, do they have the cartoon rights? I didn't think they did.
Yeah, there's like a stupid rule where if it's a certain number of minutes, it's a Sony created show. And then if it's not, it could be a Disney show.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So if you want a live action Spider-Man TV show, that's going to be Sony because it's going to be more than whatever it is, 20 stupid contractual rule. But yeah, they have such a stranglehold on this character. I was not surprised to see him show up as an exclusive. I am hopeful that it will not be like Destiny's early years where like PlayStation got all of these guns and stuff for so long compared to the
Hawkman.
other. So that's where my worry is how much leverage they're going to pull with Spider-Man. In terms of characters that I want, I would like X-23 from, the Logan movie, that character. I would like the grown-up one where she has the yellow and blue costume from the comics because I thought that fit her really well. Far better than I think it fits Wolverine.
That was a real big hope and a prayer.
I know, but, dreams.
Dreams. Eric, I have one question for you. Did you just say... Can you repeat what you said before?
What did I say?
The Destiny gun that PS4
Oh,
had?
Hawkmoon.
Oh, I
The
heard you say
greatest
something
gun
completely.
in a video game ever.
It's the best gun of all time.
Okay.
It sounds like, well, we're trying to make this as family as possible, so I won't get into it.
You don't have to.
It sounds
that.
just like just doing it.
Okay.
It's the best sounding gun. Just it feels good, sounds good, looks good, look good, feel good, play good, like they say in sports.
Mm-hmm.
So the gun is the complete package.
Okay. What do you think, Eric, about Spider-Man in the whole?
Oh, you want to know what I feel about Spider-Man? So let's sit down for 40 minutes while I discuss.
Let me get comfy.
Let me rephrase. Spider-Man is... Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's like I'm blessed where I own all the consoles, and so it doesn't affect me, but this affects someone who just has an Xbox and Spider-Man is their favorite character. Like, this sucks for them. Like, I was gonna buy this game on PC. I was gonna buy this game on PC, but as soon as they announced, hey, Spider-Man's gonna be on PlayStation, I'm like, all right, there it is, right there, it's on PlayStation.
But also, to be fair, if you're a Spider-Man fanboy and you have Xbox, that's kind of on you, isn't it?
I was
wouldn't you be
using as an example, Ruben.
Yeah, I understand that, but why wouldn't you be trading in that that Xbox for a PS4 to play Spider-Man?
Why would
PS4?
I, with the wonderful world of Game Pass?
But why wouldn't you? If you're a hardcore Spider-Man fanboy, wouldn't you be wanting to play Spider-Man PS4 after all the praise?
So we're getting off topic on the situation.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I was just using an example like they really love Xbox. All their friends are on Xbox, and they just don't have the money to have a PlayStation. Like, this has got to suck.
Okay.
And so I feel as though I agree with Anthony. Like, granted, I had a PlayStation, so I enjoyed all the exclusive stuff from Destiny, but Samson, hush. It's just another dog. Sorry.
Okay.
And so it's terrible. Stuff like this really sucks. Like, I want everyone to enjoy Spider-Man because that's how it should be. But it's a business deal. Like, do you think Sony probably like, here's a bunch of money, let us have Spider-Man? I guarantee you now, Avengers is going to sell the most on PS4 and PlayStation copies.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to happen. So, as a business deal, super smart. Like, the smartest move they could have made with this game. But from a, there's no such thing as, like, pro-consumer, anti-consumer when it comes to corporations because they're all anti-consumer. Like, that's what it is. Like, they want your money. Like, they're not your friend or anything. So, but it's a terrible business move. But I'm not the head of those companies, so I can't do anything about it.
It is what it is. Ryan, what do you think?
Somebody's got to play devil's advocate here, and I guess that's me.
Oh, no.
I got no problem with it. Games have been doing this for decades now, since the console wars began. Sony is pushing so hard for Spider-Man just as a brand to be a PlayStation character. When you think PlayStation, they want you to think Kratos and Peter Parker. So it makes a total sense that they would throw a bunch of cash to make sure Spider-Man stays only on their console. I wouldn't be surprised from games now on. I wouldn't be surprised for we're gonna Marvel Ultimate Alliance 4 if Spider-Man doesn't appear in it. I could see Spider-Man becoming just locked to Sony.
I hope they don't make
Because-
a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 4.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation. We'll come back to that one. That game will be better than this one.
What's up?
I don't know. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was not good.
It's a wonderful game.
It's okay.
It was fine.
But I just think it's business. At the end of the day, it's a business, and I can't be mad at them. It makes the most sense. Like, I don't understand the outrage people are going at it because it's business. At the end of the day, they've been doing this for games forever. Back in the day, Xbox would get all the Call of Duty maps like 2 months beforehand. It's just the way it is.
See, if Xbox was like, oh, we got Wolverine only on Xbox, you won't be able to play him anywhere else. People would have been upset, but like, okay, well,
But this is Spider-Man.
yeah,
Spidey.
understandable.
This is the most popular hero in the world.
I understand it. I get that. But I feel like just because it's Sony and it's just because that they've been killing it lately with literally almost everything that you could possibly imagine. I think that people are getting a little upset for... Like, Sony just wants people to play on their platform. That's it. If Xbox was smart, they would have given the money for exclusive character, but that also hurts the game.
And I saw a lot of stuff like, I'm sorry, Benny, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think the thing that kind of makes a bit worse for Sony is they Xbox was giving that opportunity. They're like, hey, do you want an exclusive character? And Xbox was just like, no, we want the player base to be united. So they had that opportunity and they said no.
I feel like they said no only because Spider-Man was already going to be on PS4. Like, they had the option to pick any other character than Spider-Man. And Xbox was like, no, we're not going to pay that money. We're just going to let everybody... We want everybody to have fun with this game.
It could be.
How many millions from Moon Knight?
I'm going to go with none.
That'd be super awesome to have Moon Knight like have his own event, just have him go and showing him be bat fucking crazy.
They should have done the Defenders.
Oh, well,
Been better than the TV show.
They should do the Defenders. Well, the TV show was actually not that bad.
Oh, wait.
well,
It was.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Could have been better.
Hot take.
You know what?
I
I am actually going to start one pretty soon. Not of my hot takes, but like just random discussions to get arguments with people.
I think that a lot of good anecdotes I saw on Twitter about this is it is good for stuff like this because it breeds competition, and competition is like if it's the one good thing about capitalism, it's competition, and like I think it's a good thing to have healthy competition.
What are they competing with?
I mean, so we may not want to see it that way because Xbox has very much like gone away from, hey, just buy our box to, hey, get involved in our ecosystem.
Yeah.
But like Game Pass, like put the ball in Sony's court because Game Pass is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And Sony doesn't have that. Whereas Game Pass, it's so great for, everybody. So great for everybody. And so that was a big time move. And then so Sony's got to do something like, hey, like come back and play on us, and something could be, hey, we have Spider-Man in the Avengers game. That's what it is. Or like we have Spider-Man PS4. It's the only place to play it. And so with this, now Microsoft's up to the plate and they got to hit a home run about this. And they may come up with one of the coolest IP we've ever played coming up. And then Nintendo's in the corner like, hey, play Mario Party or something like that. But
rolling in money.
That was the hottest take.
like Nintendo's not in this ball game because like they just like all they got to do. Hey, here's Breath of the Wild 2.
They're
good.
playing fucking water polo.
That's all you got to do. Like that's all they have to do. Like here's a Zelda. Here's a new Zelda game. Here's a new Mario game, and that freaking works. It works.
Every time.
Freaking
Not
Mario
Breath of the
Kart.
Wild.
Mario Kart 8 is still a remake of it, a deluxe version of a game that's been out on Wii U for a while. Is the highest selling Switch game because that's all you got to do. You have Mario. You have Spider-Man. We have Spider-Man on the PS4. There it is, right there. That's gonna sell.
Xbox has crickets.
It's not until.
Yeah, a new cricket game. You didn't hear about it?
I don't know.
Gex
I
the
think I
Rat?
actually hear crickets outside my window right now. So it's
That's
Sorry,
just your
Vinny, I cut you
Xbox.
off.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't until he brought it up, and I just realized that might be the most baller thing Xbox could do, is because Spider-Man's not till next year, so they're gonna get at least a couple months. That if the same month Spider-Man comes out, they put Avengers on Game Pass. So they're like, hey, you can play on Xbox for free. I think that would be an equally big grab for them, where it's like, all right, we don't have Spider-Man, but I have 6 months worth of content, and it's, quote unquote free. I think that could be a big.
That'd be freaking awesome because like right now with Game Pass, like Beyond Light's coming to Game Pass day and date. That's incredible.
Yes, it's insane.
See that happening at all?
But I mean, it could happen though because that's the
Yes.
beauty of Game Pass.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't see that they're going to they will get an influx of people playing on Xbox, but it won't be, the difference between people playing on PS4 and people playing on Xbox is still going to be very drastic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mhm.
But what is this with Spider-Man getting us into the longest discussions on this show? We did that with the Game of the Generation show, where like the Spider-Man talk was the longest talk we had on a single game.
I'll be doing a Spider-Man, which is the best movie.
I'm gonna go with my boy Cameron Hawkins.
We're not
here.
talking about
Spider-Man
this now.
2.
We're not talking about this now.
Spider-Man 2.
We're not talking about this now.
But no, I think it's weird. Like everyone makes good points. Like Ryan's right. Business side of it, freaking fantastic. This is a fucking smart move. But from, again, someone who doesn't have a PlayStation, this sucks. So I hope it leads to good competition between both PlayStation and Xbox and all that. Like, I hope that's what comes to it. Like, we get cooler stuff because of this.
Time will tell. Well, gentlemen, I think that pretty much wraps up the conversation about Avengers.
What dream character do you want, Ruben, in the game?
I just said it. It was Nova.
Nova? Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Yes, you did. You talked about Vinny.
Did
with
I?
it.
I've already.
Made a joke.
Whoops.
You did say Vinny? What do you think about that?
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
I
okay.
want Iron Fist in the game, but I want the Netflix Iron Fist, where his ultimate
Hideous version of Iron Fist.
I want his ultimate just to tell all the bad guys, my name is Danny Rand, Immortal Iron Fist, Protector of Kunlun, Sworn Enemy of the Hand, every 5 minutes, because that's what happened in the show. It's like, wait, who are you? Oh, just read this card. This is what I.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I do have closing thoughts on the Avengers game. I hope that there is enemy variety, because I know with the beta we just fought robots, and I know like predominantly it's aim
and people.
Yeah, I mean a little bit.
They're in matching suits, so.
Yeah.
So I hope there's enemy variety that we get, because I don't want to be smashing robots the whole time. Like, I know we're gonna be fighting like Abomination and stuff and some villains, but I want some actual minor villain, some enemy fodder to be just different. That's all I want, just some variety.
Yeah, I agree.
Some ninjas in
Closing
there.
thoughts. Ooh, again, if you do the defenders, yeah, you have to put the hand. Anybody else have closing thoughts? Anthony, anybody?
For me, I'm excited about the campaign. I'm looking forward to that. I'll enjoy that. I will hop in whenever they add a new character. That's when they'll also add in new story moments. I'm hopeful for their big events that'll hopefully draw people in because it's coming from Marvel Comics,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a swath of stories that they could pull from to do any number of really cool events in their own little universe. So I'm
Flop or
excited.
success?
I think it'll be a success. I don't know critically, but commercially, I think it'll be fine, and they'll have the backing of Disney, Activision, and all that stuff to push them into hopefully fixing what they need to fix.
Okay. Ryan, closing thoughts and flop or success?
I think this game has a long way to go before it is anywhere near above barely playable. I think
Okay.
the Marvel IP can carry it till it gets to that point, and I think it will be a commercial failure in the eyes of Disney and them. I think it will sell well for a video game, but not for an Avengers video game. And I think it will be a critical failure as well.
I don't think it's going to be a failure in Marvel's eyes because they deal with EA kind of like every. Like I don't think Marvel is going to be like, oh shit, this failed. It could have been way worse as if they were dealing with EA, but that's a different story. Eric, commercial flop or success? No, sorry, flop or success and closing thoughts.
Leaning towards success. Like being a games as a service, it can fix all the problems it has. So
That's all.
yes,
Benny.
yes.
Flop or success and closing arguments or thoughts.
Yeah, I think at bare minimum it'll be a success. It'll do fine. Like the IP alone is enough that it will do okay. And like I know we've been kind of negative. I think like that's the biggest issue with games of service. Is like I can see where the game can go, and the biggest question is like if it's actually gonna have the legs. Like it's if they support it in the way that they intend to, and they don't just fall off after like 5-6 months. I do think this can be a big game. Big question is like if they're gonna have the support.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming, yeah, his last statement was going to be if they have the support, which I really hope that they do.
Yeah.
And it seems like, oh, okay, he's back. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, no, iPhone. Yeah,
I think you said
just
Eric was the most handsome, but we don't know.
I think you.
yeah, I went sidetrack real fast. No, just real quick. Yeah, like I said, the main thing for me is it all depends on how they support it. My biggest worry is like that they're going to get to March, April, give up, and they just do the bare minimum. It's all on if they can keep the momentum going, because I think it has it going into the launch that people are at least curious. I don't think anyone's been outwardly turned off, so if they can keep the momentum going, I do think it can be something special.
This is going to be flop in the beginning, but eventually lead to success, which I know is kind of a cop out, but yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna pick that.
You're the host. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Exactly, Eric. Thank you for finally getting in line. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen, for spending what felt like 15 minutes, but it was actually probably an hour and a half talking about Avengers. We are staying on for the next episode. If we can still do that, if everybody has a problem with that, please let me know.
Basketball's on, and I got my beer. I'm still good.
Okay. I will end this episode on a positive note. I think Crystal Dynamics has the power to do things that I have faith in Crystal Dynamics because of the Tomb Raider series. So
And Gex the Gecko. Don't forget.
Give me a
and
Gex battle
Gex
pass.
Gecko.
Gex in the
Please
game
don't
and
fuck
I'll
us over. Yeah, I don't know about that. You can probably keep that on the Xbox side, but Square Enix, please don't fuck us over on this. Thank you for listening to the Penultimate Conquest podcast. Plugs before I forget. Anthony, do you have anything to plug?
You could find me at Digital Encounter. Take the E off of Encounter because that's too long for some social media, and you'll find me off everywhere. It's all the same thing. So
Ryan, any plugs?
find me doing whatever I'll be doing at Ryan the Lion 97.
Any plugs?
I mean, I just got them in. I think they look like real hair, so that's good. That's what the doctors told me.
I really hope so.
I tweet stuff at Eric C. Ginn. That's about it. That's all
Okay.
I do.
Vincent, any plugs?
At ViroVinny, YouTube, Facebook, all those standard stuff. I have bad takes. I often scream about Animal Crossing. It's a thing.
I do want to also plug That Strong Nerd, Mr. Nick Eden on YouTube.
He's real strong.
Yeah, he really is. YouTube and Instagram. That man is a
Bit of a nerd as well.
Bit of a nerd, but I think he's can definitely kick my ass any day, which I'm going to severely apologize for bringing him on the pre-show and making a fool of him.
Decimating.
Yeah.
Speaking of YouTube, I think as though Penultimate Conquest channel should do a Gex the Gecko playthrough.
I don't know about that. That sounds like a lot of work.
Okay, we'll set it for a retrospective.
Okay. All right. I mean, if somebody wants to mail me their PS1, by all means.
it could be a PS2 or a PS3. They all play PS1 games.
I only have the slim PS3, so I can't play any PS1 games.
They're on the digital store.
God damn it,
The
Vinny.
PS1 classics.
Yeah, we're doing it, boys. It's tail time.
Okay. All right. We'll see about that. I will discuss this offline, you know?
And us.
Again, thank you, gentlemen. Say it again, Ryan? Okay. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Everybody have a good night. Bye.
Bye.